Inside of Offline Side Hustle Success, you're going to discover legitimate side hustles to make real money fast. In fact, many of these side hustles will pay you in the same day. We're excited to dive in and walk you step by step through how these processes work. The offline side hustles are very important as most entrepreneurs need a good side hustle. A lot of people that are starting a business feel the stress and they're worried about their bills that need to be paid, or they're worried about the instability of their income for their brand new business. That's where offline side hustles kick in. There is absolutely no shame in having an offline side hustle, especially if you are in the process of trying to start a business and you want to give yourself more flexibility to generate extra cash so that you can pay your bills, finance your business on your own, and build your business while you're bootstrapping. It's a very important thing to consider. You can also use offline side hustles to make extra money. We all know that things cost more than they used to, and so it's really important that you understand these unique apps and unique systems that allow you to make money. And we're going to cover methods that work for people globally and also around the United States. So no matter where you're located, you can make extra income, and in many cases make that income the same day. The most important part about many of these offline side hustles is that they will pay you the exact same day. So after you're done with your work, or even multiple times per day, you will get a cash payment that then you can go out and withdraw from your bank, or use to pay bills online, or use to finance your business, or take a trip, or whatever you want to do with that money. But that is the power of offline side hustles. You can use it to pay for business expenses. Many people utilize these things to pay for important things such as an autoresponder, a funnel builder, a website hosting, your coaching services, anything like that that can help you grow your business. Maybe pay for advertising dollars. At the end of the day, if you want to grow a business, you want to build a business, and you want to just simply make extra money, you need an offline side hustle because things are more expensive. Life happens. You might have a new baby. You might have something happen at your job, and you need to be able to jump in at a moment's notice and generate income. You can also accelerate growth within your life. You can accelerate growth within your finances. You can help yourself get out of debt. You can help yourself finance trips. You can pay for trips, and you can build up your savings account. Whatever the goal is, an offline side hustle is for you. It also will allow you to buy extra time for your business while you're trying to get it off the ground. And I can't stress that enough. And that's why we are focused on this. And there's absolutely no shame if you are doing one of these side hustles that we're about to reveal to you in this video. And again, the final piece that a lot of people will find valuable here is if you are ready to truly grow your business and you've been saying, hey, I need to get a coach, I need to invest in a coach. This is your time to save up so that you can invest in a coach, or invest in a training program, or take yourself to an event so that you can start to generate extra cash. Now, one of the first side hustles is DoorDash. This is one of the absolute first side hustles that you can do. And this, what this does with DoorDash is it allows you to actually generate money and in fact cash on the same day by delivering food to restaurants and more. So you can deliver food, you can deliver groceries to people similar to Instacart, and you can actually pick up the food and you simply drive it to their house. Now we all know DoorDash if we're ordering food, but the people that deliver the food, that's what we're talking about here. So you can actually work on your time with your goals, and you're the boss. That means you can work on your own terms. The best part about it is that it is a very simple app. And in fact, as I was recording this video, I actually downloaded the DoorDash app and made money and cashed out the exact same day because I wanted to prove that this methods work for anybody, anywhere. And the reality is that it was very easy, and within a matter of a few minutes, we were online and we were selling and making money with DoorDash. It's amazing, and it's an incredible app that you can download. So DoorDash is amazing. It works in many different countries, and primarily it's going to be focused around the US. But what's great about it is that you have total flexibility and you can earn money on your terms. So it's very powerful. So DoorDash is one of the apps. The next one that we're all very familiar with, and this also works globally, is Uber. Uber allows drivers, you can get the driver's seat and get paid. That's their slogan, and they're very passionate about that. And I was speaking to some Uber drivers and learning their ecosystem a bit. Uber actually allows you to cash out up to 4 times per day. That's 4 times per day. And I wanted to point out something about DoorDash as well. You keep 100% of the tips that you make, and the average DoorDasher makes between 25 and 35 an hour. And as I was preparing this training, that is actually the number that I was finding. So if you do the math on that, and you wanted to work on just Saturdays and Sundays, you just wanted to work on Saturdays, or you just chose to work a few hours each evening, it's very conceivable that you could generate for yourself an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. There actually are some people that do DoorDash full time and actually make $6,000 to $7,000 a month doing just DoorDash. It's a powerful app. The most important thing though is use it to finance your business and your growth and your life, and help yourself get out of debt and accelerate your finances. So Uber's great. The best part about Uber is that you, again, can work your own time and you can cash out and get paid. They also have promotions running all the time. They actually say if you complete 200 trips, you're basically guaranteed almost to earn at least $2,600. This is going to vary based on your region, but 200 trips might seem like a lot, but that could be just a short trip with somebody. And if you are driving a little bit each day, you could actually hit that in just a couple of months actually with driving Uber. And so again, you could see that you could conceivably make yourself $500 to $1,500 a month, maybe more. And there are people that even drive Uber full time if you get talking to your Uber drivers. What's great about it is you simply follow the apps and follow the app's instructions. DoorDash, Uber, the apps are extremely intuitive. And in fact, you can get started the same day and start driving and earn money within a few hours. In fact, with DoorDash, I was up and running in less than an hour, and I was on the road making money that fast, and I was actually paid that night. It's amazing. Uber Eats allows you to do similar to DoorDash and just deliver food. The power behind Uber Eats and DoorDash is that you don't need as sophisticated as a vehicle, I should say, or a certain kind of vehicle, whereas with regular Uber or maybe Lyft, you actually need a vehicle that has 4 doors on it. But with Uber Eats and DoorDash, you can actually deliver on just about any vehicle. The other benefit of it is that with Uber Eats, you could actually have a delivery that you're delivering on a bicycle. As you can see from this picture, some areas actually allow bicycle delivery for Uber Eats, DoorDash. In fact, many people that are delivering overseas, like in the United Kingdom and areas like that, India and other countries and cultures where biking is more prevalent, you can actually deliver that way. New York City, even areas where there's not cars. So you can deliver via bike as well. So you don't need a car to even get around and make money. And they have jobs all over the place. And when they say jobs, they're literally meaning like you fire up the app, and if you're available and there's a spot, you can get on the road. Now, we're going to talk about the best practices to make all of these apps work for you, but I wanted to highlight how important and amazing and simple it really is. You literally fill out a form. You can put in your information. If you do not have a car, they actually have programs where they can actually get you into a car that you are borrowing from them for Uber Eats. So again, this is one of those systems where there's no excuses. I know some people might be going, well, I don't have a good enough car. I don't have this. I don't have that. You can make it work. If you say, I need a car, they actually have options for you that allow you to pay for a car from your earnings. It's really cool how they do that. Now, Instacart is another awesome solution for you to consider. The great part about Instacart is, again, you don't need a 4-door car. You can do this with just about any vehicle. You literally open up the app, and if people want help shopping for items, they will contact you. Now, Instacart is a grocery shopping app. That's primarily its focus. So that means if you are wanting to order groceries for delivery to your house or to your location, that's what people use this app for. Now, the amazing thing about it is that you can earn money as a shopper. So I actually was talking to a friend of mine whose daughter is in her early 20s, and generates about $80 per day with Instacart, just working a few hours per day. It's just a few hours per day for a college student, $80 a day. They're making $35, $40 an hour in that range for working a few hours a day. And the app actually makes it seamless. You fire up the app, they give you a shopping list, you go to the store, you check out, you communicate with the person, you go deliver the food at their door. Many times you don't even have to interact with the customer. So if you're somebody that's like, I don't even want to talk to people, then a service like DoorDash, like Uber Eats and Instacart might be just for you. And there's a lot of people that actually use these apps in order to generate income at various times a day, because some apps are hot at certain times and they work really well. So Instacart is another great one. It's a great money maker. They do pay out very quickly as well. Now, anybody can become an Instacart shopper. There are certain restrictions based on your age, but you will see the details inside of their app, and you can see how simple it is to get started. Another service that is also fascinating, and this is for those of you that might be more handy people, like you can build things, you can, like IKEA is a partner of theirs. So for example, if somebody has an IKEA furniture that needs put together, they're going to pull out TaskRabbit and say, I need a tasker to do this for me. Also, TaskRabbit is for people that are running errands. So if you like running errands for people, and again, this goes for Instacart, Uber Eats, they're all similar in that regards, but little errands like, hey, I need you to go pick up flowers for somebody and deliver them to this address. And that's something you could do as a tasker. Maybe it's, I need my dogs to get walked really quick because I had an emergency come up. I need help moving. Whatever the case is, you can be on TaskRabbit. If you can be of service to people, you can make money with this app. Again, it does not take rocket science. You download the app. These apps are designed to take the guesswork out. They actually do the thinking for you. In fact, one of the things that I found just as I was testing this within using an app such as DoorDash is that it was so intuitive that my brain literally could shut off and I could actually unwind from my business and the stuff I was thinking about and just listen to music, listen to a podcast, and drive around and take and serve other people. But the app did all the work. I literally it just said, go here, pick this up. That's literally all I had to do. Drive here, drop it off, and go pick up another order. It's simple, it's easy, and it makes you money. Now, you can make, on TaskRabbit, you can see people for different categories. This one's helping people move. It's $44 an hour. That's pretty good money. If you work a few hours on a weekend here and there, you could generate yourself, let's say you work 4 hours on a weekend, you could make $160 to $200 on a weekend helping people move and generate yourself an extra $800 per month. Now, would that help you finance your business? Would that help you get out of debt? Would that help you trigger additional things in your life that would take you to additional levels financially? And the answer is yes. And that's why you need to consider apps like this. Another app that you may not have heard about, like TaskRabbit is not as popular, but another really popular one that is kind of brand new, it is called Roadie. Now, Roadie is actually, what's unique about it is that it is a UPS company. So it is backed by a reputable brand. It is a UPS company. And what it does and what it is designed to do is, let's pretend that there is several locations of a certain store. So let's just say a Tractor Supply store, or let's say a hardware store, for example. And what the Roadie app does is it actually will notify you and say, hey, we need to deliver this item from Home Depot to this other Home Depot so that a customer can pick it up same day. So that's kind of what Roadie is designed for. It also is allowing people to ship products and packages internally inside of a town, or maybe from town to town where they don't have the time to get it to the post office, and the post office might take the next day, but it has to get there that day. It's very popular for prescriptions that need to be transferred to somebody from one pharmacy to the next. It's also just very, very important for those reasons. And it's an amazing app that works for businesses. It's got on-demand delivery for small business, so same-day delivery if they have something that needs to go from one town to the next, or it helps you if you have personal items that you need to ship. Now, you can get paid to drive your way. The amazing thing about it is you can make anywhere from $30 to $50 an hour. Some jobs will actually pay up to $80 to do the job because they're that important for them. And the great part about it is that it's very easy to sign up. I actually signed up for this app to test how easy it was. I have not done a Roadie exercise yet, but all day long I get notices saying, hey, you can deliver medicine for this store. You can go Home Depot to Home Depot and we're going to pay you $25 for this delivery. And they even estimate how much time. They'll say, I'll take you 45 minutes. And so there you go. You could make up to $30 in an hour if you were to do that gig. And it really, all it entails, you drive to the store they tell you to go to, you pick up the item in question, and you drive to your location. Now, you might be wondering if this is package delivery. Why is this something, how could I do this? Because let's say you have a small car, or let's say you don't, want to be picking up heavy packages, or maybe you're not able to pick up heavy packages. Whatever the reason is, it does not matter. You can sign up for this app and you don't have to take the jobs. The great part about it is that they actually tell you if the item will fit in your car or not. So they're going to say this item is for somebody with a pickup truck. Obviously, you'd get paid more for bigger items. Or they will say, hey, this item is for somebody with a, with a smaller vehicle, let's say, or this is a small item. Like, for example, the prescriptions, or let's say it's just a part from an auto part store that needs to go from an auto part store in one town to another auto part store. That's something you can transfer in a normal 4-door or 2-door sedan. Very easy to do. So that's where Roadie is amazing. It can really help you work on your own terms. There's jobs throughout the day, which makes it great if you want to just take an hour off during your day to kind of get away and drive and listen to a podcast, listen to music, get yourself out of, the element of looking at your computer. But while you're doing that, you're making extra income. And it's awesome because you can choose the jobs you do, and you might be taking a trip or driving somewhere to go pick something up or go somewhere. So you might as well get paid while you're on your way. You can pick up something in one town and go, interesting, I'm going to this town too, and get paid on your way and take care of that for you. So it's a really great app for entrepreneurs. So Roadie, highly recommend. Grubhub is very similar to DoorDash and Uber Eats, where you can deliver food. It's a great app for that. And again, they are really awesome about helping people make money on your time and on your terms. You can notice how great this landing page looks. They are very forward facing. They want you to apply. They want you to work for them. Grubhub pays similar to all the other apps. They'll pay you quickly, and generally it's about 20 to 30 an hour. They all kind of seem to be in that range for food delivery, and you also get to keep your tips, or at least most of your tips. But it's really great because you work on your time and on your terms, and you can also manage and run your business, or run your your regular job at the same time, and while you're getting your business going. Now, Lyft is similar to Uber, where you're going to be driving individuals around. Many people actually choose to go multiple apps, and we'll talk about how that works in just a moment. There are a lot of people that drive for both Lyft and Uber. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing against their terms of service. Many people do that. Many people will drive for Uber, Uber Eats, Lyft, and DoorDash, and then they'll just, depending on the degree of busyness, like how busy a certain area is, would dictate which app they're going to use at any given time. Now, you can make everyday payday because they actually pay you the same day. You literally can cash out right away. Now, I do want to say, I've been talking about how you can cash out right away with almost all of these apps. Some of them do have minor restrictions, such as Roadie. They will pay out same day, but they will do that after you've done, I believe it's 5 trips, maybe 20 trips. It's somewhere in there. It's really between 5 to 20 trips. Every app is slightly different, but most of them, once you establish yourself and do a few jobs, then you will get to the point where you're cashing out every day. The one thing about DoorDash that was great is that they actually can give you a debit card that is tied to DoorDash, and then they pay to that right away. They also have an option to pay out to your bank account at this same day, and it's just really awesome. Now, initially, I think by default, most of them will go to like a weekly payout. So even then, you're still getting paid weekly. It's just so amazing and so powerful. Now, you probably wondered, like, that's great and all, but a lot of these are focused on the U.S. But I will say, like Uber, Uber Eats, Grubhub, some of the others, they're found in other countries. But Uber Eats, for example, is across 90 countries. So you can pull up the Uber Eats app and actually drive for Uber Eats. You can also find food delivery in your country. Every country actually has food delivery options. And all you have to do is search for food delivery and your country name in Google, and you will find the most popular apps. Now, the page you're going to land on is going to be the page that says, hey, purchase food or download the app. But you want to look for, on that website, the page that says, I want to drive for this company. So I'll give you an example. There's a service called Deliveroo in Europe, which is very similar to, I would say, the equivalent of a DoorDash in the United States. So Europe has one, all over Europe, United Kingdom. There's an app called Food Panda, which services a lot of the Asian countries. There's 41, or Asian regions. There's 41 countries that they are currently found in. So there's plenty of options for you. And then Zomato serves India, Indonesia, and over 24 countries and areas. So again, Zomato is another one. So these are all options. No matter where you are in the world, there's options. Australia has options for these. Uber Eats is global. Here's Deliveroo, so you can see what that looks like. And then here is Food Panda, another great option. And then here is Zomato, a great option from India. Now, we've covered some of the options. We covered a little bit about, what services to use, what apps to go download. Now let's talk about your tips for success, because your tips for success for offline side hustles, it's really important. And I wanted to share the apps with you first so that you could see what we're talking about, so you can see what is involved. I wanted to explain the work involved. The work involved is really quite simple. You're going to let the app do the work for you. But there are tips that I've learned and from talking to people and also researching it from firsthand experience that you need to do to gain the most success possible. The first thing you need to do is you need to trust the apps. That is the most important tip that I can leave you with on this, is trust the apps. Don't get into it. A lot of people, they really miss out on money making opportunities and income generation opportunities because they lack trust, and they tell themselves like, this can't work, this can't be that easy, it's going to be complex, there's no way. You start like down talking yourself, you're not going to make money. So what you need to do is you just have to get started. Like I said with DoorDash, I fired up the app and within an hour I was already on the road making money with that app. It's amazing and it's simple. The app makes it easy to get started. These are all app-based, meaning they're all technology companies that have designed apps that allow people to order food. And then they need drivers. They need people like you to deliver that food, and they don't have the capacity to constantly hire new drivers. And they know that you have extra side hustles that are extra businesses, or you have full-time jobs, you're trying to make extra income. Whatever the reason is, they love people like you, so they want to work with you. And the apps make it so simple to get started. And all you have to do is set up your payment profile as soon as possible. That was one of the very first things I did at DoorDash, because with anything I do online, whether it's affiliate marketing or selling a course or selling a program, I always want to set up my payout information as fast as I can. That means if I go get a bank account, a PayPal account, whatever, or a Stripe account for merchant processing for credit cards, let's say, I will set it up so that I get paid out to my bank account because I don't want money lingering. And so you always want to set up your payment profile ASAP within the apps. They encourage you to do that. And also it's just simple. Like, I would hate to hear that you made a bunch of money and then now you're waiting extra time to get paid, right? So set up your payment profile right out of the gate. The other most important thing is each of the apps is going to have various peak times. So for example, DoorDash, what I've learned, so the food delivery apps, this is not just DoorDash, food delivery apps, it's pretty common sense, right? Around lunchtime, breakfast time, and primarily dinner time, they're going to be extra busy. Dinner time, they're almost always busy. So they have a lot of demand, right? There's a lot of people wanting to order food, so there's a lot of demand. The other times I find interesting is on weekends. You can actually work pretty much all weekend long. Also within the food apps, there are a lot of people, a large segment of people that actually get hungry or they get cravings for junk food or whatever at 11 o'clock to 1 a.m. at night. So that's usually another very busy peak time where there's very few drivers. So if you're somebody that is a night owl, or maybe you worked a regular job, hung out with your family, now you're going to go work a couple hours doing this, which might seem crazy, but that is life. If you are really trying to get after your finances and grow your business, it takes effort. In fact, there's many amazing entrepreneurs that also had side hustles too. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. But those peak times late at night also do really well for food delivery apps. For Roadie, I found that it was more during the day. That's where you're delivering items internally. Instacart is very similar. Instacart also is very popular right after work times because people are getting off work and they would love to have their groceries waiting for them. So around 4 o'clock to around 7 or 8, those are going to be peak times. Now, if you time it around peak times, you can also get paid additional money. So DoorDash, if you end up doing DoorDash during nighttime, or let's say during like Sunday afternoon when there's a lot of sporting events, or let's say overseas for certain apps, let's say like Uber Eats, there's soccer matches at an area, and you know there's going to be people at home watching. They also want to order appetizers and food. You have a chance to make extra money on tips, and more importantly, extra money on the peak pay, because they will charge the person an extra few dollars because DoorDash wants to incentivize you to go out and drive during the peak times. All the food delivery apps do that. Uber does that. They have surge pricing. That gets passed on to the driver. And so if you pay an extra $3, that means every time you drive to go pick up somebody or drop somebody off or drop a package off or go pick up food, whatever it is you're doing in the app, you can actually get paid peak pay. So you can make an extra $3 per delivery, which may not sound like a lot, but that adds up. And by the end of your dash, let's say you've done 5 deliveries, that's an extra $15 for the same amount of work. So if you choose peak times, you'll make more money. Now, meal times, late nights, and weekends do really, really well. Uber and Lyft, think about events, think about weekends. Those are popular travel times. And also look for tourist areas. So areas that people would go on the weekends. And then search for high traffic locations. That's also going to be equally important. Now, Instacart, they are awesome because weekends and evenings do really well for them. Some during the day, but not as much. But a lot of people, like I said, want their food and items waiting for them when they're just getting home or soon after they get home. During the day for business, TaskRabbit, let's say you're running errands for a business or delivering items, things like that. And then weekends are going to be big because people have their honey-do list. And so they got their list of tasks they need to do, but they don't want to do them. So they're going to hire a tasker is what they're called to do that. I also found with Roadie, the peak times for Roadie when I keep getting the most notices is actually right in the middle of the day usually. So it varies sometimes in the mid-morning to kind of early afternoon, and then in the evenings it picks back up. So what that does is, again, that frees you up so that if there is a window of time where you can get on the road and make a little bit of money, that's where that is. Now, most of these jobs that I'm talking about are driving jobs, but if you're going to do an offline side hustle, you're going to have to drive to it, whether it's a regular job or wherever it is, you're going to have to drive to it. But what I love about this is there's opportunities for you to have personal growth as well, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Now, focusing on customer service is so imperative. You're going to get more gigs with the higher rating or score. In fact, you might actually get more gigs that pay better because they want to put their best people on the job, depending on the platform. You also want to over-communicate with your customers. That is very important. This is a business you are running. Now, it is a business that you're running with yourself, but it is important because if you over-communicate with your customers, meaning like tell them where you are. So if I'm going to pick up food, let's say, at a restaurant, you let them know, hey, I am now at this restaurant. So I've arrived at my restaurant, arrived at your restaurant, I'm just waiting on the food. Or I arrived at your restaurant and the food's not quite ready, I'll be on my way ASAP. What that does is that calms down the customer. They know you're on the job. They know you've got their order. They know that their food is safe. They know they didn't waste their money. They can get on with their life and not stress about it. And they appreciate that. I get actually really good ratings for that and reviews by communicating. So it's very important. That's a way to actually increase your tips. I actually found that when I communicate, I end up getting surprise tips at the end. So if you do that one simple task, you can actually increase your earnings. And again, it might be an extra $2 tip, but that adds up over multiple customers. More importantly, though, that higher rating means you get a better rating and you make more money. Now, the other thing you want to do is be efficient with your time. So what I've learned is that for any of these gigs, if you are stuck at a location like waiting for food or waiting for items to be prepared, it is imperative that you also dive into your app and have the address saved of where you're going so that as soon as you get the food, you can jump right in your car and go deliver it because time is money. Now, you're not paid a set hourly rate, but the more gigs you do, meaning the quicker you drop them off, and by efficient, I mean don't speed, right? Be efficient, be quick, but not in a hurry. Also, smile and be friendly. That is the most important thing you can do. Smile and be friendly when you're picking up food, when you're dropping off food, when you are typing out messages to your customers, smile and be friendly. I have learned that if you smile while typing, it's interesting because when you smile and type, it actually makes your message come across more friendly. And that's very important to do because you do not want to come across short with people. Keep in mind that you might be tired because this is your side hustle, but this is their only interaction with you. So you want to give them the best service possible so you get the best review and it serves you because you're helping other people. Leave reviews to speed up reviews back. So if you are on Uber or Uber Eats, some of the time you can actually review your customers, mainly with Uber and Lyft when you're dropping them off and working with people directly. The sooner you leave reviews, the sooner you will get reviews back. Now, here's some of the tips to get started with offline side hustles. You want to take all the gigs you can to gain experience initially. Some of the apps, especially like DoorDash and Uber, they will put you on some weird runs where you might not make as much as you would if you were a more experienced person. Because the more experienced person might say, I don't want that job because it only pays me like $5 for a little bit of time, or it's just not worth it because I'm going to get another job, right? So they know, the experienced DoorDash people know that. But when you're starting out, the more you take, the more experience you gain. And that also means your score is going to go up. So then you get positioned for more money. It comes down, it's just like any business that you're running. The more consistent you are, the more money you have, more opportunities you have available to you. As you grow, you can become more selective and you could say, okay, I'm going to deny that option because I'll say, for example, if you're delivering items to an apartment complex, that can actually add 10 to 20 minutes additional time to your delivery because you have to hunt down where that specific apartment is, assuming the customer did not give you good instructions. So an experienced person might say, I'm going to be more selective and just say no, and the apps will still deliver you good messages or good opportunities once you've got experience. Now, you need those get good ratings to get more opportunities. So the only way to get good ratings is to have that experience. And so it's very important. You get started right away. As soon as you get started, they start sending you jobs, but you need to build up and constantly be consistent so that you stay active in the system and make money. And again, do not overthink anything. Literally go download one of the apps, put in your payment information. You do have to verify yourself. They do have to do a small background check because they have to make sure of several things, that you are, not a danger to anybody else you're delivering items to, and also that you are a safe driver and can get there safely. Open the apps, accept a job, follow the instructions. Like I said, I was nervous on my first DoorDash, found out it was as easy as pie because the app made it so simple. I opened it up, it told me exactly where to go. I walked in, I showed my phone, the restaurants that you're picking food up from, the places you're getting delivery from, they know the drill inside and out. All you have to do is show them the app. The app is like your badge. They hand you the food, you put in the address, and you go. It's as simple as following the GPS on your phone. And anybody can do that to get paid. Now, to get paid, this is pretty self-explanatory, but here's some things you're going to need. You will need a bank account. Some of the apps, if you do not have a bank account for whatever reason, you can actually use prepaid cards that the apps give you. Almost every one of these apps actually has a partnership with a bank that does those prepaid cards that kind of act as a bank account. And that means they can send the payments to that, and then you can withdraw the money from any ATM or use it just like your regular debit card. You also can use your bank debit card, and I would highly recommend a bank debit card because that will allow you to get the instant pay straight to your bank account, or the prepaid cards also allow for instant pay. And many apps, they will allow for the instant payouts as long as you are using either their prepaid card or you're using your bank debit cards. They do allow that. And typically it's going to be after a couple of errands, tasks, DoorDashes, whatever you want to call it, deliveries basically, and doing the work in the app, then you will open up the opportunity to get paid instantly. Now, in order to maximize your earnings, let's talk about that because we all want to make as much money as possible with this system. So one thing I want to encourage you to do is use multiple gig apps. That means multiple streams of income for your offline side hustle. And that may seem crazy because you're thinking, this is a side hustle, not a full-time gig. But I will say that some people do this full-time and they also maximize their earnings with multiple apps. And the reason you want to have multiple gig apps is not because you're going to spend, more time than you intend to spend doing the side hustle. But what it does is it expands your opportunities to grow and to earn money, because there are times where I've joined at a peak time, log into DoorDash, or I get the notices now all the time, and you would think it would be busy at a dinner time, which 9 times out of 10 it is, but sometimes it's just not, or sometimes it's not busy because there's everybody else is on there, right? There's all the other DoorDash individuals you're competing with, right? Because you're not the only one on the road doing these gigs, doing these tasks. So in order to maximize your earnings, it is important that you use multiple gig apps. So you might have Roadie where you're delivering items. You might have Food Panda and Zomato if you had both in your area. It's important that you have multiple gig apps because you might find that one app is busier than the other at any given time. And so when it is your time, so let's say that you decide every day from 11 o'clock to 1 p.m. during the day, because that's around lunchtime, you're going to focus on your side hustle. And you can't afford, because you want to make that extra money, right? You've allotted for yourself for that time. You can't afford to open up the app and find that there's no business. So you want to make sure that you expand your earning potential and have multiple apps ready to go. With that said, you don't want to necessarily get caught doing an Uber Eats delivery and a DoorDash delivery at the same time, because that's frowned upon and the customers will get upset because they're different. But you can open the apps and actually see which ones are busy before you start to run your errands. Just understand the peak times, utilize those effectively, use your time efficiently. Like I mentioned, if you're doing deliveries of food or delivery of items, it is very difficult for apartment complexes. So if you zoom in on the map and see it's an apartment complex and you're limited on time, you may want to push that out because apartment complexes can be very difficult to deliver to if they don't give good instructions. So there's just things you can do to use your time efficiently. Always be customer service focused. That means always be customer service centric. Send good messages, smile, be polite. If you are driving Uber, greet them, help them with their luggage, open the door for them. Do the basic things because that will improve your rating. Same thing with Lyft. That will improve your rating, improve your score, and help you get more gigs. Now, there's a personal development aspect to doing this. Not only is it good to help others and make money, but many of these gigs are going to involve long hours in the car or in your vehicle. So they're driving, they're delivering items, you're delivering food, you're picking up food and delivering it. You are, delivering people. In that case, you may not be able to do this if you're driving Uber, but as you're driving to pick up the people and nobody's in your car, you could adopt what I'm about to share with you. You can take this time to listen to podcasts or online courses. Again, don't watch the videos in your car, but you can listen to podcasts or you can listen to an online course, much like this one, and gain personal development knowledge while you're getting paid. So this would be your personal development time. You can do Apple iTunes. You could do Google Podcasts. You could do Spotify. You could do Amazon Music. All of these platforms offer free podcasts, free content for you. You could also download audiobooks from Audible. That means entire personal development books. That means maybe if you are just like, I don't want to think about work. I don't want to think about business. I don't want to think about anything other than just be entertained. You could actually download whatever genre of fiction that you want to download just to feed your brain, because that kind of interaction actually has been proven to help people. So, just listening to fiction can be very helpful for your brain development because it makes you think about things. And a lot of people don't know this, but your local library, at least in the United States, will allow you to download free audiobooks. Not every one of them, but some of them will. So you could explore that if you don't want to pay for an Audible subscription. But all the podcasts are free. You can pull up a YouTube video, actually, and then just listen to the audio. So think about any expert, personal development person, and it's powerful because you will be spending many hours a week in the car. So let's say that you decide to drive 2 hours a day for 5 days a week. So let's say you're committing to, I'm going to do 10 hours of an offline side hustle per week. That's 10 hours roughly of personal development growth you can have. You can listen to podcasts. You can listen to entrepreneurs' journeys. You can listen to things that feed your soul. You can listen to, messages, whatever it is, things that feed you and feed your soul. You can do that while making extra money, while getting paid, and then that will help you be stronger and really help you grow your business as you dive into that, or help you grow in your professional career, help you grow with your relationships. There is a total win if you're doing an offline side hustle and involving personal development into that. So I encourage you right now, choose the app or choose the multiple apps and go download your gig app today that suits your area. If you're in another country, use the methods we laid out. The most important thing you can do is get started right now. Once you get started, you'll be amazed at the results that can happen, and momentum will continue to build for you as you start your offline side hustle.